I'm not happy about this podcast episode because ice cream is probably my favorite thing ever. Ice cream and guacamole. Either way, today I'm going to go through the truth about dairy and asthma. When I was a kid, I had multiple food allergies that impacted my asthma. I've always had to be mindful because any food allergy can create inflammation in your body. And when you have more inflammation in your body, it can have a negative impact on asthma. When I was a kid and I was told that I was quote unquote lactose intolerant, I was crushed because I've always loved ice cream, and to this day, I do eat ice cream and I know that I'm going to be impacted by it. I've cut it back a lot and I have different strategies to indulge in dairy products, but I'll tell you this, at least 1 to 2 weeks before a race, I completely cut out dairy and any other inflammatory foods from my diet. In general, the inflammatory foods that I eat at this point is pretty low, but I get even stricter close to a race. Dairy has the potential, if you're lactose intolerant or not, it has the potential to increase inflammation in your body, especially low quality dairy. I get the most stuffy, congested when eating non-organic and low quality dairy. Hits me the most. Back in 2011, I traveled to Europe. I spent a lot of time in Italy. And I ate so much pizza there, and pasta and cheese, caprese salads, literally a salad made with cheese and tomatoes. And I did not have the response that I have here in America. In 2017, I went to Greece and ate cheese like crazy, and I felt fine. The quality of dairy is important, at least for me, and the impact it has on my system. Now, I'm not a healthcare professional and I'm not a doctor, and I have a disclaimer in the show notes and in the description below the YouTube video. So check with them about all of this. In general, non-organic, low-quality dairy is harder on our systems and can create more inflammation. Next, I find cow dairy affects me much more than sheep and goat dairy. Sheep and goat, I can eat more of. So yogurt, cheeses, if I don't go fully plant-based, I focus on sheep and goat milk sources. Now, the craziest thing is that most of us eating things in general, it might not be dairy, it could be something else that creates inflammation in your body. We have normalized how we feel in society. We have normalized the fact that we always sound like we have a cold. We always are stuffy. We have normalized the fact that our asthma is not getting better. When, if we made some changes, we increase the quality of our dairy or foods in general to organic, higher quality. When we go and we eat organic and grade A dairy, it's better for us. For me, I don't feel the inflammation come on nearly as much. In general, as a society, chronic inflammation has been normalized. I have changed my diet drastically. We're not taught how to read our own blood tests. So we'll get a blood test and our doctors will tell us, hey, yeah, your numbers are fine. What I've learned is that optimal numbers for blood tests are based on the average of society. When you get your results, you may be in the quote-unquote green because the data of all the blood tests are from a society that is heavily inflamed and not the healthiest. So maybe you have decent numbers versus what society has. What I've done is almost 100% gotten rid of non-organic, low-quality dairy. The only dairy that isn't organic is soft serve ice cream a couple times a month. Other than that, it's completely cut out of my diet. And my blood test results this year versus last year, this isn't the only factor. I've also cut alcohol out and I've reshaped a lot of my diet. All my numbers are phenomenal. Triglycerides were cut in half. They were good. Now they're exquisite. That's what happens when we focus on higher quality products. So, what can you do to manage your asthma symptoms when it comes to dairy? Well, the first thing is I highly recommend that if you've never cut out low quality dairy, sugar, these other things from your diet, do it for a week, see how you feel. Go through a detox for at least a day to 1 week, or keep it going. I just want you to feel how powerful your body is when you aren't feeding it toxins. So that is the number one action that I believe you should try out in your life. Now, some more sustainable actions, because this is really the purpose of this, is so that you understand that how you feel isn't normal. So if you're like, Johnny, I'm watching this, I'm not allergic to dairy, I can eat whatever I want. Try eating healthy for a week. You will realize how you were feeling wasn't normal. Well, what can you do next? Look for substitutes. You can substitute dairy for sheep, goat, or go plant-based. I'm allergic to nuts, so I can't do almond milk. I focus on coconut, oat, and hemp. Be careful with different plant-based milks because they can be heavily processed and a lot of sugar can be added. We actually make our own oat and hemp milk, and all it is taking raw oatmeal, blending it, and mixing it with water, or taking hemp seeds with water. You can make these milks healthier and significantly cheaper by doing that. It's literally the thing plus water, and you get a beautiful milk. And if you want a sweetener, add a little honey. Don't add processed sugar. Now, if you're like me and love cow dairy, because I'll tell you this, yogurt made from sheep and goat milk does not taste good as yogurt made from cow milk. Yogurt made from coconut and oat milk tastes pretty good. Still not as good as cow milk, Icelandic yogurt. If you keep eating cow dairy, only eat organic, grade A cow dairy. And only eat dairy once a week. So these are your action steps. I highly recommend, no matter what, that you cut out dairy and these other things, sugar, for at least a day up to a week. Substitute, only organic grade A, only do it once a week. Now, if you want to take this a step further, I have a gift for you, my Healthy Living Guide, where I go through the 3 pillars of healthy living: movement, tracking, and accountability. It's going to take you less than 2 minutes to ingest this guide and start integrating these 3 pillars into your life. I use these 3 pillars to not only lose 40 pounds, keep it off, and become an elite ultra runner with asthma. Grab this free guide, linked in the show notes and the description below, or go to www.athletewithasthma.com/healthy-living-guide to grab your free copy today. I'll see you in the next one.